This episode is sponsored by WVC Nashville, where veterinary medicine and Music City finally collide. Think CE, networking, innovation, career opportunities, and enough inspiration to carry you through the rest of the year. If WVC Nashville is not on your calendar yet, now is the time. Visit WVCNashville.com and we will see you in Music City.
Today's episode of Brain Smarts is brought to you by WVC Nashville 2026.
Where veterinary education meets Music City.
Nashville hot chicken.
Hot August nights.
Hot CE, probably.
Honestly, what else could you ask for?
Thousands of veterinary professionals, incredible speakers, networking opportunities, live entertainment, and enough continuing education to make you feel productive while eating Nashville hot chicken.
Oh, and I will be. Join us August 15th through 18th in Nashville, Tennessee for one of the most exciting veterinary meetings of the year.
Come for the CE.
Stay because someone convinced you to go out for 5 minutes.
And somehow it is midnight and you are singing karaoke with 3 specialists and a practice owner from Nebraska who knows every word to every song.
It's called networking, Clay.
That is what we're calling it now. Welcome to Brain Smarts by Vet Candy, the game show where veterinary knowledge meets comedy chaos, and the only thing more unpredictable than today's headlines is the group text after a veterinary conference.
I'm Caitlin Palmer.
And I'm Clay Palmer.
Today we're talking about a veterinary research lab that accidentally discovered something that is now helping save human lives in operating rooms around the world.
A veterinary school that received a $44 million working cattle ranch as a donation, which is not a sentence I expected to say this week.
And a dog food company that is solving a veterinary workplace shortage by funding the training that nobody else was funding.
Which is probably good because every veterinarian I know has at least one client who gets nutrition advice from TikTok. And at least one of those clients has a dog named after a food.
And later, we will be joined by a very special guest.
He's an internal medicine specialist,
a professor,
an associate dean at Michigan State University College of Veterinary Medicine,
and one of the featured speakers at WVC Nashville 2026.
Please welcome Dr. Stephen Carey.
Oh, not yet, Clay.
Oh.
He's coming after the break.
That's probably for the best. We should warm up before we start embarrassing ourselves in front of Associate Dean. Those people have seen things.
And they've attended so many meetings.
So many meetings.
We'll be right back with more Vet Candy.
Veterinary medicine is heading to Nashville, and you do not want to miss it. WVC Nashville brings together world-class continuing education, industry-leading experts, hands-on learning, and incredible networking opportunities, all in one of America's most exciting cities. Whether you are a veterinarian, technician, practice manager, student, or industry professional, WVC Nashville offers the education, connections, and inspiration to help you take the next step in your career. Join us in Music City and discover why veterinary professionals are making WVC Nashville their must-attend event. Register today at WVCNashville.com. We'll see you there.
And we're back. Welcome to Brain Smarts, Dr. Carey.
Thank you both so much for having me. I'm really excited to be a part of this tonight.
Dr. Stephen Carey is an internal medicine specialist, a professor and associate dean at Michigan State University College of Veterinary Medicine. He is also one of the featured speakers at WVC Nashville 2026, which means if you are here this week, you can catch him in person.
He is the kind of person who solves the cases nobody else could figure out, then goes to a 4-hour committee meeting about the font on the departmental newsletter.
That's the associate dean experience, Clay.
At least I assume.
Dr. Carey, again, welcome to Brain Smarts.
Thank you very, very much. And honestly, you are not kidding about those meetings. That is quite accurate.
Right. Do you feel like you spend more time in meetings now that you're...
I recognize now that if I don't take control of my calendar, I will spend my entire day, every single day in meetings. So I've got to wrangle a little bit of time for myself to finish some medical records. But yes, it is a lot about meetings.
Oh gosh, so many meetings.
I love an hour-long meeting on something that could have been an email.
Right. It could have been a paragraph at the most.
There's a handful of those, that's for sure.
Definitely.
It's like, did we want to go with Arial 14 or...
I really feel like this word should be italicized.
Call everybody in. We got to have a discussion about this.
Yep.
Oh, he's in surgery. It can wait.
Yeah.
Sad, but a little bit true.
Unfortunately, right? So tell us, how long have you been a veterinarian?
I've been a veterinarian for 26 years. I graduated from the University of Wisconsin in 2000, and then I went to Michigan State for an internship and a residency, and I never left there. So my whole career as a vet has been at Michigan State University.
That's so awesome. What's your favorite species to work with?
I am very much a dog person. I love having dogs in my house. I love having dogs as patients. I think that dogs and I get each other. We really kind of have a zen where we kind of agree to disagree on things, but we can still work it. Cats are a challenge. I do like the challenge of cats, but I'm very much, give me a good, big, slobbery, knuckleheaded dog as a patient, and I'm in hog heaven.
Oh gosh, yes. I still, and I've been in vet med for 16 years now, and I still, every day, I'm like, we don't deserve dogs. Dogs are so wonderful.
Amen, sister. You are exactly right. We really do not deserve them, yeah.
I say, you look good to have been practicing veterinary medicine for 26 years.
I know.
Oh, stop it. I finally let the gray come into this beard so I can begin to own my E.
It's very distinguished.
And once it starts, there's no stop. I got my first gray hair, and I was just like, it's time. It's mine.
Done.
I'm not going to pluck them. I'm not going to dye it. It's just, they're there. They're part of me now.
I'm fighting mine. I'm losing, but I'm trying.
No, you got to own it. Once they start coming in, you just got to own it.
So tell us, you're lecturing at WVC Nashville. So tell us about that.
I am. I'm doing 2 different sessions. On Saturday, the 15th, I'm going to be working with a team of some colleagues of mine, and we're doing an entire day focused on management of brachycephalic dogs. And we've seen, of course you have as well, I've seen an explosion in French bulldogs and English bulldogs and pugs. And they're cute. They're little, adorable balls of, muscle and energy. But they also present some pretty significant medical challenges, mainly respiratory, but some GI stuff and neurologic stuff as well, too. So WVC put together a panel of people with some expertise with these breeds. And we're going to do an entire session on Saturday the 15th. We've got a neurologist who's going to be talking about neurologic disorders, both head and spinal cord. We've got an anesthesiologist who's going to be talking about anesthetic challenges. There's 2 surgeons there that are going to be talking about surgical management of their upper airways. Am I forgetting anyone? And then myself, I'm an internist, and I'm going to be talking about what are called aerodigestive disorders. So when they get problems with their respiratory system, it can also affect the gastrointestinal system, and there's a lot of interplay between the two. So I'll be talking about how to break that cycle and what we can do to help manage these dogs medically.
It makes sense.
I never thought.
I never did either. And that's the French bulldogs are kind of single-handedly keeping most practices in business, aren't they?
They are, and really the explosion it's keeping us in business, but it also, as you well know, presents some ethical challenges too. So while we want to make sure that we know how to manage them, we also kind of want to spread a little bit of the word about, what can we do to help this breed as a whole. Yeah.
Right. And to educate pet parents that got them because they're cute.
Absolutely.
Yes, they are. And they're wonderful little gremlin creatures.
Yeah.
But
they can't breathe.
Exactly. They can't breathe. Don't keep them outside. Don't let them jump off the bed. Our first story comes from Michigan State University.
Which is a little awkward because that is also where our guest works.
Researchers at MSU were studying liver regeneration. They had a hypothesis. The hypothesis was wrong. And what they discovered instead is now influencing how surgeons treat patients in operating rooms around the world.
Science said no thank you to the original plan and gave them something better.
Which is genuinely how the best discoveries happen. Dr. Carey, are you ready for question 1?
I am ready.
Question 1, and this will be multiple choice. MSU researchers accidentally discovered that reducing which protein actually improved liver regeneration, the opposite of what they expected. A, keratin, the structural protein responsible for hair, nails, and the deeply personal decision to get bangs at any point during a stressful life period. B. Plasminogen, the one thing they reduced fully expecting liver regeneration to suffer, and then it didn't, and then science got interesting. Or C. Professorogen, that accumulates in the bloodstream after 16 consecutive years of faculty governance meetings and cannot be reduced by any known intervention.
Caitlin, the Professorogen is actually an intriguing choice, but I'm going to go with Plasminogen, B.
Plasminogen is correct. The research is expected reducing it to hurt liver regeneration, but it helped instead. They were willing to follow the data where it went rather than where they wanted it to go. And that's the move.
That is how science is done. Professorogen is real, though.
Symptoms include saying per my previous email and attending every meeting with a coffee that's been microwaved at least 3 times.
Dr. Carey, we see.
I have probably done all 3 of those things in the last 4 hours.
I was going to say recently, too.
Yeah.
I think answer A was supposed to be like a joke at Karen's. Like,
I thought that too.
Question 2. The MSU liver regeneration discovery eventually influenced research around which commonly used medication? Gabapentin, which veterinarians already prescribe for pain, anxiety, travel, Mondays, and at least 3 other things that are not on the label. Omeprazole, the medication that every veterinary professional has in their personal bag, their desk drawer, and probably their car. Or C, tranexamic acid, which human surgeons now use because a veterinary research lab discovered something they were not looking for and were smart enough to follow it.
I think the answer to this one's going to be tranexamic acid. Choice C.
Choice C is correct. A medication that is now used routinely in human surgery that has roots in veterinary research at Michigan State.
What?
Every time vet medicine accidentally helps human medicine, physicians somewhere are quietly impressed and not making a big deal about it. I imagine them saying, fine, good job, very reluctantly.
That is not how collaboration works.
It's how I imagine it works, and it will not be correct.
Question 3. In the surgical research that followed, patients received tranexamic acid and had what outcome compared to those who did not? A. Higher rates of liver failure, which would make this a very different news story and presumably a very different WVC session. B. No measurable difference. The result every researcher dreads, which means 5 more years of grant applications and strongly worded discussion sections. Or C. Roughly 3 times fewer odds of post-operative liver failure, because someone at Michigan State was willing to say their hypothesis was wrong, and it turned out to be a whole discovery.
You know, while I think option B is probably true more often than it's not, I'm going to go with option C here.
C is correct. Roughly 3 times lower odds of post-operative liver failure. That's not a minor finding. This is the kind of number that changes clinical practice, and it started with a veterinary researcher following unexpected data instead of defending the original plan.
That is incredible.
And it is. And that is what science looks like when it actually works. Someone is willing to admit they're wrong and then curious enough to find out why.
Read the second part again to say find instead of found.
It is. And it is what science looks like when it actually works. Someone is willing to admit they were wrong and then curious enough to find out why.
We should have a word for that. Productively wrong.
Well, we do. It's called science. Our next story proves that some people donate buildings.
Some people donate money.
And some people donate an entire working cattle ranch to a veterinary school.
Which is a level of generosity that makes writing a check feel genuinely inadequate. Question 4. What did the University of Calgary Faculty of Veterinary Medicine receive as a historic donation? A fully equipped veterinary hospital, which would be generous and is also the most predictable answer nobody could possibly give. B, a working cattle ranch, operational, staffed, and immediately usable as a large animal teaching facility, which is what happens when a donor thinks very big. Or C, a horse racetrack, which would technically qualify as a large animal facility and would also make the alumni tailgate situation significantly more interesting.
Well, they love their horses up in Calgary. They have to stampede up there, but I think I'm going to go with option B here.
B is correct. A fully working cattle ranch. Not a check, not a building naming opportunity, an actual functioning cattle operation that the university now uses for large animal education. This is the kind of donation equivalent of saying, I want to give you something that you will actually use, and then doing exactly that. Imagine getting that call from the development office.
Right. We received a donation. Oh, how much? Yes. Like, what do you say to that? What do you say to that? Question 5. Approximately how much was the ranch donation worth? A, $4.40, which represents either a rounding error or the most disappointing estate planning conversation in the history of Canadian veterinary medicine. B, $1 million, which is a generous donation that would buy a very respectable building or a very average ranch in this market. Or C, a whopping $44 million, at which point you have not donated property, you have donated an asset class.
I'm going to go with $44 million. Choice C. It really sounds like this is a pretty impactful gift.
That is correct, and that I can't fathom that much money. 40. I can solve all of my problems and all of my family's problems and all of my friends' problems.
No joke.
I would help you with your problems, Dr. Carey. Give me $44 million.
Yep, I'll just take whatever you got left over.
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to share. $44 million and a working ranch donated to a veterinary school. The University of Calgary now has a large animal teaching facility that also happens to be an operational cattle operation. That's a big thing that's happened.
$44 million.
$44 million.
I have been donating to things my whole life at the completely wrong scale.
Now we can't measure up to that.
Every little bit helps. Even the $4.40 we'll take.
Look, I'll take $4.44.
Right, if 1 million people do that, then you'll have $44 million.
Hey, you're right.
My development office would be very upset if I didn't throw that plug out there.
I'm sorry, actually 10 million people would have to do that. Get my math wrong on air.
Play. Sounds like someone needs to go to Michigan State University to learn things.
Then they edit out my correction solo like a dungus.
Yeah.
Question 6. How many acres were included in the donation? 50, which is a ranch.
It is okay. Yes.
If 50 qualifies as a ranch, 100, which qualifies as 2 ranches, or 19,000, which is the point at which your GPS gives up, hands you a compass, and wishes you the best.
Let's go with 19,000 and see what comes up.
C is correct. 19,000 acres. At that scale, you have stopped donating land and started donating geography. Students at the University of Calgary are going to learn large animal medicine in a facility that is larger than some municipalities. This is an educational experience. 19,000 acres.
For context, that's roughly the size of Manhattan, but with more cows.
And presumably better parking.
Probably so, yeah.
Probably both, yes.
I'd say definitely more cows than you'd expect. Welcome back to Brain Smarts.
Topic 3. There is a shortage of board-certified veterinary nutritionists in the United States. The reason is not that nobody wants to specialize in nutrition. The reason is that the training pathways has not had enough funded positions to produce them. The farmer's dog decided to do something about that.
A dog food company looked at a veterinary workforce gap and said, this is our problem to solve.
Which is either very admirable or very strategic, or both.
Those things are not mutually exclusive. Question 7. The Farmer's Dog Food Company funded a veterinary residency at the University of Georgia in which specialty? A. Oncology, B. Surgery, or C. Nutrition?
I think Farmer's Dog is going to be most interested in putting more nutritionists out there, so I'm going to go with choice C.
That's very sound reasoning. The answer is C, nutrition. The Farmer's Dog funded a veterinary nutrition residency at UGA, which means the dog food company is now directly funding the training of the professionals who will eventually evaluate dog food. That is either very transparent or very confident, and possibly both. The dog food company is funding the people who will judge the dog food. The The dog food company is funding the people who will judge dog food.
I respect the commitment.
It's a bold move.
Question 8. Why are board-certified veterinary nutritionists relatively rare in the first place? A. Lack of interest, which would be a reasonable explanation if we were not all surrounded by clients who are currently getting dietary advice from strangers on TikTok who own one dog. B. Lack of funded residency positions. You can want to specialize in nutrition all you want, but without someone paying for the training, that training does not happen, and the specialty just doesn't appear. Or C. Lack of dog food. A supply chain issue that the farmer's dog has apparently taken as a personal challenge.
I don't think it's a lack of dogs. I don't think it's that.
Definitely not at our house.
It is not that. No, I think it's probably a lack of residency training positions. Option B.
That is correct. Lack of funded residency positions. Passion is not the bottleneck. Training slots are. You cannot produce specialists without someone funding the positions that train them. The farmer's dog identified the actual constraint and addressed it directly. That's how workforce pipelines work.
You cannot train specialists that you cannot afford to train.
And clients cannot be referred to nutritionists who do not exist.
Meanwhile, the TikTok dog food accounts are fully staffed and posting 3 times a day.
Why is that true?
Question 9. UGA's veterinary nutrition program will now have how many residents training simultaneously? 200, which would definitely solve the shortage, but would create a cafeteria situation at UGA that nobody has planned for. 3, a small number that nonetheless represents a meaningful percentage increase over 0 funded positions. Or C, 6, 7. That's an already dated joke by the time of this airing. A very specific number suggesting someone ran a detailed regression analysis on the workforce gap and landed here with great confidence.
My kids are rolling their eyes at option C. So they said I can't pick that one. So let's try 3. Let's try B.
3 is correct. 3 residents training simultaneously, which sounds modest until you consider that it is 3 more than existed before. In a specialty where every additional certified specialist has a real impact on how well the profession can serve clients who need nutrition expertise.
Hey, 3 is how every pipeline starts.
37 is how every administrator dreams it ends.
You mean 6, 7? And
What?
anytime I check in a patient and I put them in room 6 or 7, I have to do that.
Right, yeah, you just gotta throw it out there real quick. It is funny if you do it like in a way where like you don't care about the joke, but you're like compelled to do it.
I am. I can't help it.
I guess come over about 6 or 7. It's like you dropped your keys on the floor or something.
Which room is Miss Smith in? 6, 7? You have to.
You have to. It's so compelling. Yes, you can't. I'm trying to hold my hands at the side. And still.
You gotta like clench your fists. No. Question 10. The farmer's dog described this investment as what? A. An investment in the future of influencer marketing. B. An investment in the future of canine health. Or C. A tax strategy.
You know, I could make an argument that all 3 of those could be true.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's kind of a stinker.
This is a trick question.
But I'm gonna go with option B. I think they have the right motives in mind here.
B is correct. It's an investment in the future of canine health, which is exactly the right framing and also genuinely accurate. More nutrition specialists means better nutrition guidance for veterinary patients, which serves the profession, which serves the dogs, which also happens to serve a company whose entire brand is based on dogs anyway. Alignment achieved.
Right, a bump on the log at the bottom of the sea.
With a frog and yeah.
It goes all the way down. What settings can board certified nutritionalists actually work in?
You know, I'm glad you asked. Let's move on to question 11.
This is everybody's favorite part of the show.
This is my favorite part of the show.
This or that. So we're going to ask you a series of questions. They are meant to be asked quickly. If you would answer with this or that, please do so without thinking about what the answer is or trying to justify your answer.
Just whichever one stands out.
Right. Stand in your truth.
Okay, I'm ready.
Dr. Carey, right before we go, we're going to put you through our lightning round.
7 impossible choices. No explanations, just instinct.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Chronic diarrhea workup or the mystery fever case that's been referred to 3 specialists already?
Give me that mystery fever.
Ultrasound or endoscopy?
Endoscopy all the way.
Always said endoscopy.
Of course you do.
3, a client who brings a detailed timeline and medication list, or a client who says, I don't remember, but I think it started sometime before Christmas.
Give me the vague client the before Christmas. That's more of a challenge.
I respect that. Cats or cats that don't want to be there?
Cats that don't want to be there.
Okay.
That's a trick question. They're both, they're the same thing. Number 5, interpreting a complicated blood panel or trying to explain that blood panel to the owner.
Explain it to the owner.
Addison's disease, or the disease that absolutely should have been Addison's, but somehow isn't?
Give me Addison's.
If I could do a good house impression, I would say it's never Addison's disease.
It's never lupus.
It's never lupus. Number 7, conference lecture at 8 a.m. or emergency consult at 2 a.m.
Ooh, maybe 8 o'clock lecture.
Well, yeah, one of those answers determines whether you're an internal medicine specialist.
And then we have a bonus Nashville question. Hot chicken or regretting hot chicken for dinner the next morning at your 8 a.m. lecture.
Both are going to be true, but I'll take A.
Now that's an internal medicine question for sure. Omeprazole was name dropped earlier.
Yes,
so
it was.
if you go into the Nashville conference,
Bring omeprazole.
Bring your what's it called?
Some Tums.
Something blockers. Protein blockers. I don't know. I take the medicine. I should know. But
If you see me, I'll have some Tums in my purse. I always pack a lot of tummy medicine. And especially with hot chicken being on the menu, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to regret it, but I'm going to do it.
is that what TUM stands for? It's short for tummy medicine?
It is now.
Tums for your tum-tum?
Yeah, it's for my Tums. Now, Dr. Carey, before we let you go, you are a featured speaker at WVC Nashville 2026. So tell us again about your session and what attendees can look forward to.
Well, on Saturday during our brachycephalic session, we're going to talk about all the idiosyncrasies that make French bulldogs and pugs so endearing, but also a diagnostic and a medical and surgical challenge for us. And then on Sunday, the 16th, I have an entire afternoon session where we're just going to talk about respiratory diseases in dogs and cats. So we'll get into the weeds a little bit with asthmatic cats and coughing dogs and really just focus that weekend on respiratory disease and companion animals. And I'm really excited to be there, and hopefully you guys will join me for those sessions.
Yes, I'm going to do my best to be there.
And the most critical question of the entire episode, what is your official hot chicken position? Scale 1 to 10, which restaurant, how many times a week, that sort of thing.
I want it as hot as I can get it. I want it as a sandwich, and you gotta have the pickle. If you don't have the pickle on it, it's not Nashville hot chicken.
Right. And anyone who says otherwise, look, you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
That's exactly right.
That was really fun. Was there anything you wanted to say that you didn't get to that you want us to edit in? Or not us, but...
Right.
Yeah, no, this was great. I got to talk about both my sessions, got to talk about brachies, and mention my teammates that are going to be a part of the session on Saturday. So yeah, I got to dot all my I's. So thank you very, very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's all for today's episode of Brain Smarts by Vet Candy.
We will see you in Nashville at WVC Nashville 2026.
And if you're already here, go to Dr. Carey's session. You will not regret it. And then go eat hot chicken.
If you are listening from home, everything Vet Candy is doing at WVC Nashville lives at myvetcandy.com. Articles, videos, the whole thing.
Until next time, stay curious
Stay caffeinated.
and stay brain smart.
Vet Candy.
Vet Candy.
It's Vet Candy Radio.